Hi everyone, this is Brian Hayes and welcome to a discussion on chromatic riffs for the saxophone. When we hear the term chromatic as a saxophonist, we most often think of the concept of a chromatic scale, like this. That is 12 notes a semitone apart, both in ascending and descending order. Today, however, we're looking at riffs built on a chromatic chord progression. So the progression is going to spend 2 beats on each of the chords in descending order from C to B flat to A flat to G, and then ending on C. So the sort of tonal structure of the riffs will be based around this. And each of those notes that I played there as the leading note in a progression represents the falling chromatic pattern of the chord riff. I'll play the riff on guitar now so you can get an idea of the sound in the background that you would apply these type of riffs to. So the first exercise that I've got on the screen for you now is based on the arpeggios in ascending order as the chords change. So C major to B flat, etc. I recommend that you don't try and play this too quickly. This is not a sight reading exercise. I've put the notes on the screen so that there's no debate as to what the notes are, but I really want you to learn this off as a riff and try it on different chords across the entire range of the saxophone. So if we put our metronome on at 100 beats a minute and we play the notes, the quavers, in swing style, so jazz quavers. So exercise 1 will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Exercise 2 reverses the notes in the arpeggio so that they become descending. The chord progression remains a descending 2-beat pattern, dropping a semitone each 2 beats. But this time our actual lead riff is going from the highest note in the chord to the lowest. So again, at 100 beats a minute, exercise 2 will sound like this. 1, 2, 3. Now finally, we put those concepts together, and this time we have a jazz riff that goes ascending and descending, ascending and descending. The chord structure remains the same, but this time we have this constant moving jazz riff. We'll do it at 100 beats a minute. Exercise 3. 1, 2, 3. How did you go? Could you follow that moving line, the constantly moving melodic line, to match the constantly moving chord structure? That's one of the challenges in jazz, that often the chords will be constantly moving on you. It's not like a 12-bar blues where a chord will sit there for 4 bars and, where there's only 3 chords and there's a very defined pattern. Jazz will often throw some really complex changes at you. And these type of simple exercises, if you play them at a nice slow speed, will give you the chops to be able to eventually improvise your way through some quite complex chord changes. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial and it's opened your eyes a little bit to the benefit of working on chromatic riffs on your saxophone. I'll finish off now with an alto sax and guitar duet of riff number 3. I'll play it a little quicker at 170 beats a minute instead of at 100, and hopefully you'll get to hear how these patterns can work in well with a chordal instrument. Bye for now.